The place today. Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. Happy day after April Fool's Day, and we hope that everyone survived, right, Laurel?
No. Welcome everyone to another news and updates every Saturday for almost there it is. For almost 4 years, we have been bringing you the news from in and around the AltSpace VR community, world building news, tips, event news, Discord tips, and information you need to know about the hardware, the software, the apps, and the industry that supports our corner of the metaverse.
As experienced social VR users, players, hosts, moderators, world builders, teachers, and community users, we are part of the community. Laurel?
I've locked up. So keep going.
Okay. We're not AltSpace VR employees. We are community members and volunteers working hard each week to bring you the news from in and around the AltSpace VR community. In addition to presenting the news and updates live every week here in AltSpace VR, we live stream to YouTube and Twitch during our show. And we do, on occasion, film the audience during our discussion. So be ready. If you miss a show, check out our News and Updates YouTube channel to stay updated.
I got hit by the mega bug that locked me up, so it's still persisting. We hope that'll be fixed soon. Our producer, Mark, is hovering over all of us in the back running the show. He had a vision many years ago to help the AltSpace VR community to connect and share the news in and around the community. And 4 years later, we're still here.
We sure are. Thank you, Mark. And thank you to all our volunteers who help keep our show running. And thank you for being here every week. We have the news you need to know coming right up. So let's get this party started.
Yay. It is with a heavy heart that we report. Oh, wait a minute. No, we're going down. Okay, the war. Let's start with the war in Ukraine before we get to the bad news. The war in Ukraine continues. That is bad news. Russia complained this week of Ukraine not only fighting back, but spoiling things by fighting in areas that Russia claims as their own. Like the Ukrainians don't have a right to fight back. Now, kudos to them and to the many Russians working inside their country to support the end of this senseless war.
Russia has a long history of bulldozing countries slowly and becoming an occupying force. And now that the war is over a month long, it looks like the same song, different day. As always, our hearts go out to all who donate and support both sides in this conflict as we are all impacted.
Absolutely. Now, it is with a very heavy, heavy heart that we report that Facebook Meta has acquired Second Life from Linden Labs. For those of you who are new to the metaverse, Second Life is the grandmother of the metaverse, bringing together people from around the world to connect in a virtual world without VR headsets. Their innovations set the standards for what was to come, and AltSpace VR was one of those comings.
After months of negotiations, Linden Lab announced the sale of Second Life to Meta with the statement by Half Linden, quote, "This transition will take place over the next few months, and we will do everything we can to make it as smooth as possible. Don't be alarmed if you notice your legs disappearing. This is a new user function."
Now, before you have a heart attack like our team of news researchers did, yes, this was an April Fool's joke. Okay. It was a total prank, one that was truly believable and more terrifying than, honestly, we really thought that this was a true thing and scared the hell out of us. So it was confirmed as a joke when they asked Mark Zuckerberg what people would do on a date with him in this new combination metaverse. And his answer was anything from the waist up only. Obviously.
Actually, Laurel, that wasn't the moment for me. It was the upside down text at the bottom of the announcement that said, "Happy April Fool's Day. We're just pulling your legs if you have any."
Yay!
As a longtime AltSpace VR community member, that leg joke hit a little too close for home for us.
It so did. God, we so miss our legs. You all miss your, if those of you remember legs, we miss them legs. Oh, we miss those legs. I'm going to cry about missing our legs. I hate having no legs. Yay. So anyway, now enough with the April Fool's joke stuff, but it was really hard going through the news because there were some really good ones that are out there and we're done with that nonsense. So now back to the news that you can really use. This past week, the Virtual World Society was back in AltSpace VR after a bit of a hiatus with their popular fireside chat. Dr. Tom Furness, co-founder of the Virtual World Society and innovator who helped develop the technology that led to the headsets that most of you are wearing on your face right now. He sat down with Daniel Dabowski Bryant, the co-founder and director of Educators in VR, and the assistant executive director of the Virtual World Society for a fantastic conversation about XR for Good and their new Humanity First pledge.
These fireside chats are in-depth discussions into the topics that we are most passionate about, how VR is being used to improve and change lives, and how it brings us together in ways we never dreamed of. The next fireside is April 14th.
Put it on your calendars. In the US, the CBS Mornings show is starting a new series called Mornings in the Metaverse. This is stunning news as it's a sign that mainstream media is not only embracing the concept, but participating. Co-host Tony Dokoupil visited AltSpace VR in the very first episode, meeting people from around the world.
He talked to a wide range of people in different event spaces, asking them about their experience, including a truck driver who spends his off time in AltSpace VR talking to people around the world. While AltSpace has hosted many television shows, It's wonderful to have a social morning news show. Take the social and virtual seriously. Check it out online at cps.com. And we have a link to the show in our news and updates Discord. And I was telling
Yay.
Lorel before the show today, I actually caught that. I brought the news up on my phone and I caught it. And it was, to say the least, I found it totally bizarre because they were talking about the metaverse like it was some strange
Alien
planet
planet.
out there. And then one of the hosts actually said, "Oh, I'm just afraid people won't have social interaction." Well, that's what we have right here. It was bizarre. People don't get it until they actually come in and spend some time in here.
But what a great opportunity for exposure for them to understand, for the audience that
Mhm.
watches that to understand. I think it's really, really exciting. It also scares
It
me
is.
because that
Mhm.
means that everybody will want to come in here.
Yep, that's true.
Now, speaking of everybody coming in here, we love it when we find people coming in from China here in AltSpace VR. And I met a man this week and had the opportunity, he was quite fluent, to ask him directly about how he was able to access. For those accessing from countries that tend to block AltSpace VR and other VR apps and platforms, here's some things you need to know.
He explained that the Great Firewall of China changes their blocking and unblocking rules almost daily. AltSpace VR could be accessible one day and not the next, and back the day after. Microsoft does huge business in China, so most people in China, as frequent these issues, are not involved.
He also explained that the most secure method is to use a VPN. And we looked into that a bit because how to use a VPN with an Oculus Quest. So, in an article, we found the answer in an article we posted in our VR news channel for the news and updates Discord. There are full instructions. And but it involves being in developer mode and then sideloading SideQuest and the VPN apps through the Oculus link.
It's a bit technical, but the instructions cover the process step by step. You may use the recommended VPN in the article or another to ensure you stay connected to AltSpace no matter where you are in the world. And now you can share this information with others from China or going to China so they know how to connect.
And it's really exciting. So definitely check that out if you want to know how to use that. Um, the Are we at I? Sorry, I have a little. Somebody's trying to give me some breaking news, and I'm trying to read it and do the news at the same time. All right, E3 2022, one of the latest video game trade and marketing shows, has been canceled. This used to be one of the largest gaming shows, but before you start worrying about how COVID-19 pandemic is impacting it, especially with the news that the recent huge game developers conference in San Francisco and the South by Southwest conference reported a huge spike in many reporting positive for COVID. It's still soon to be getting together in masses, folks. But anyway, the all online conference would have been safe from that. But Karen, you want to tell them?
Sure. So it appears that the key reason for the cancellation is lack of partners and players. It seems that Nintendo, EA, Sony, and others are creating their own video game events and special platforms. The competition in the gaming industry is heating up,
Yeah.
Laurel.
So that's kind of a cool. I mean, I'm sorry about the conference, but that comes with a little bit of goodness wrapped into it
Mhm.
as well. Now, the Microsoft Build conference is May 24th through the 26th, bringing together developers from around the world to explore the latest in innovation and tools from Microsoft and beyond. We aren't sure if they'll be back in Altspace, at least for some of the event, but we'll let you know when we know. In a post on the Microsoft blog this week, Charlie Bell, Microsoft's new security chief, announced that the metaverse is coming here and highlighted the consequences for securing it. We've shared that article in our news and updates Discord, but here are a few of the highlights that impact us all in the Altspace VR community.
Microsoft also announced that they're planning to combine several Android focused divisions into one called Android Microsoft Platform and Experience, or AMPX. There is more information in our news. You can use Discord channel for news and updates, but we wanted to speculate on what this kind of a division would mean for AltSpace. In addition to bringing improved and more closely knit apps to Android, the work that this department does could help AltSpace VR reopen their Android app.
Launched, and until around June to fall 2019, we could access it through our Android phones. We could talk, we could attend events, drive our little avatar around, kind of quirky, but it worked. We could do everything, including some really, really lousy world building with the world editor. Tiny screen, big thumbs just didn't work. But it was powerful to sit on a bus, or if you were me, set your phone next to you on the car seat and listen to an event that you didn't want to miss while you were commuting or traveling. Now, other platforms have embraced Android and iPhone since, and we'd love to have it back for AltSpace VR. Come on, wouldn't you want to have it be available just as another backup? I think that would be brilliant.
It would be wonderful. We'd get a lot more people in here, and then they probably would eventually buy headsets.
Be another gateway drug like 2D. I love it.
Absolutely. The social engineering associated with new technology like the metaverse comes with the challenges found across everything online: fraud, phishing attacks, identity theft, harassment, stalking, sexual assaults, bullying. We humans are unfortunately experts at hurting each other, and we bring that meanness into the metaverse.
We do. It's so sad. Now, understanding that history repeats itself, Microsoft has learned from the early days of the internet and the web that these things move in cycles. So they're working hard to break the cycle with strong security, such as improving security in the cloud, through email, text messages, and doing what they can for the software and hardware that Microsoft supports.
This includes the need for the MSA and MFA, the Microsoft accounts, and multi-factor authentication. These are painful to use in VR, but they give us the ability for a single login across multiple devices with stronger security features.
Now, he warned that the metaverse, a concept that promises to let users live, work, and play with interconnected virtual worlds, just as reminders if you don't know, it presents a unique and serious security challenge. Hackers may be able to make avatars that look like a user's trusted contact. It's a real serious twist on traditional phishing, and it is hard for users to resist. Now, I want to let you know, I want to remind you that it is against the terms of service to impersonate staff, and there's a little kind of and others kind of put in there as well. So just be aware that's part of the phishing scams.
It's pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
The part of the announcement that touched us the most, though, was their statement that the strongest defense is working together and working together for good. The vulnerabilities will move with us from email and social media into the metaverse, but it takes a village, a state, a country, a world to work together to ensure that we report and fight against the negative energies and people who think such abuse and illegal action is fun or worth the risk for a dime.
Now, with that in mind, we'd like to remind people that there are very good and vital groups here in AltSpace VR who are thriving and bringing people together with common interests to thrive and celebrate each other. Unfortunately, yin and yang, there are also groups who are the opposite. They thrive on the negativity that they bring and they generate from each other. Some have so much fun being mean, they don't even know they're doing something wrong.
Now, it's not our job as the hosts of news and updates to tell you who to hang around with, but we want to remind you that if you find yourself in a group that doesn't turn out to be the positive life energy you need in your life, get out of it. Go and find people who will love you for you and make your experience here full of light and joy. And I just want to add one other thing, Laurel. Those of us who have been here for a while and we've found our comfort zone with a group of people that we feel really comfortable with, we have our close group of friends. It's really important that we reach out to people who come in here for the first time, because they don't have that yet, and they're stumbling along like we did when we first came in here, and we need to welcome them and make them feel part of our community.
App, I, I think everyone here better agree with that. I feel like I'm ultimatum. It's so incredibly true. It really is. And so we want to just let everybody know. Mute,
Okay, you lost your
block.
audio there. You want to
Yes.
start that over again, Lorel?
Okay. All right. While you have the powerful mute and block tools, and you have the ability to report misbehavior, use the power of walking away to protect yourself and make no apologies. And then stay away. You cannot fix them. You cannot change them. I know we've all tried.
Mhm.
Stop it. Please be with those who bring you peace and happiness and joy. Life is too freaking short. And we've learned that over this last 2 years. Seriously, if we haven't learned it before. Um, the universe a better place for that effort by leading by example. Our greatest power, as Microsoft did say also, is that when we work together for good. Love that.
Yeah, I love that too, Lorel. So we don't usually announce major software or hardware security attacks, but another zero-day hack on Google Chrome is important enough to mention it, as it applies to your computers, laptops, mobile phones, and for those using WebXR and OpenXR development with the Chrome browser. This one is bad, and Google has issued an urgent update warning to billions of Chrome users around the world. Update immediately. It takes seconds to update, but ages to recover from a security hack.
Absolutely. All right. Now we have some news. I mentioned we had some breaking news that's coming through. Um, so Nexus has let us know that Max Reporter, who is likely from the EU, is a reporter who is has been interviewing people throughout the day here in AltSpace, and will be at a comedy event. We are not sure if it's going to be Stevie. Stevie, do you know if they're coming? Is it? Yes. Okay. They're coming to Stevie's improv night immediately after the show. So everybody go there, fill it out, make sure there's lots of people in the audience. I can't be there, baby, because I got an appointment. But everybody else, as soon as this event is over, go cheer on Stevie, and maybe we'll get a chance to be interviewed by the reporters. So, and make us look good and remind them, as Karen said, we're here because of the social. We're here for a whole lot of other reasons, but we're here because we have the opportunity to connect with people around the world in a way that we can never do in the real world. So, right on, and congrats, Stevie. Fabulous. All right, now on to VR hardware. Before we get to the hardware, those who film in events and things here in AltSpace VR, we think of okay, wait a minute. It's software, but we think of it as hardware because it's our camera, so to speak. So we're put it under hardware. A hot fix was released this week to fix a really annoying issue that I had while I was doing a training for people on OBS this past week, with inactive sources showing up while in studio mode. So please keep an eye out for updates if you're running OBS, as these often solve more problems than they cause. And we want you to keep streaming and recording all of the amazing events that are here in AltSpace VR for posterity and legacy.
News keeps coming out about the PlayStation VR2 headset from Sony. Testing of the foveated rendering found that it is 3.6 times faster in frame rate times and performance, making the headset's eye tracking capabilities very exciting news.
Absolutely. And developers, I'm really curious about this headset. Developers say this improved eye tracking in the PSVR 2 can be used for aim assist when picking up and throwing objects, as well as improving their course corrections as they move and interact with the scene or the game. Don't you want to know more about that? Ooh,
Yep.
that's cool.
So it's interesting. The PlayStation headset will also feature innovations with improved ventilation to deal with those sweaty games we love to play, haptic feedback through the controllers, along with adaptive triggers and finger tracking. That is interesting. Finger
Hmm.
tracking? Hmm.
Oh, there's a camera on your finger. I don't know. That's going to
Oh
be
boy, there
interesting.
goes the middle finger. I can see it already. the new the new headset is PSVR, thus wired and not portable, but it's looking like a sweet headset. We'll be keeping an eye on this one and reporting it here.
Now, pictures of the new Meta branding on the for the Quest 2 have been leaked. Now, it's not a new headset. Don't get all excited. But the new box it will come in for those that are buying it in the future. They want to Meta brand on everything now.
Mhm.
So what we do not know is if the new packaging will include any hardware updates. So if the box the headset in it will be like a Quest 2.1 or something like that, or have some kind of update in there. But so far, all we know is just a box is changing.
What we do know, though, is that the Oculus Quest 2 does have a major update coming up that will include an improvement in the video recording features. Expected to release in May, it should resolve an issue many Quest users have with the inability to record in 16:9 format, the most common video resolution and size. Instead of a 16:9 format, Quest records at about 800 pixels wider at 1832 by 1920 instead of 1080 by 1920.
It's really frustrating to have that extra 800 pixels. Also, add to this the challenge of capturing video in your headset that will not make the viewer motion sick with excessive head movement. Really, filming in 2D much better if you're going for quality. Plus, you have a lower video frame rate of 30 frames per second. We aren't sure if what the new feature is exactly going to bring, but if you enjoy filming your games and experiences in the headset, get ready for that update.
News continues to sneak out about Metacambria, the enterprise version of the Quest 2. It could be ready in the next couple of months, despite issues with the new viewfinder called Seacliff. It features the new pancake lenses technology, color cameras, and more, but with the same field of view as the other Quest headsets. It does have an improved resolution of 2160 by 2160 resolution per eye. Not a huge leap forward compared to other new headsets.
The Starlet controllers, new name, Starlet controllers, will be very different with force feedback resistant motors, such as those found on the PS5 DualSense and the PSVR 2 controllers that can simulate the tension of a bowstring or reproduce the feel of weapon fire. There's a kickback to it. Interesting. The controller batteries, unfortunately, are non-removable, but it will come with a charging station for the viewfinder and which they're called the goggles and the controller. So more news out soon. But remember, this is not a consumer headset unless you're rolling in money. And if you are, send some my way. The price point is very high with predictions of 700 to over 1,000 US dollars.
But you know, that's what we pay for a computer and more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is a computer, so
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
it's not going to have the same access. The Cambria is not going to have the same access to. They say it'll have access to the Oculus Store, but it's going to be different because it's designed for enterprise companies, and the price could even
Mhm.
go up to 1,500. We're still waiting with all
Wow.
the inflation rates and stuff like that, but it's meant to be for schools and universities and for
Research facilities
enterprise
and
research and
uh-huh.
enterprise. Yeah, but hopefully that technology is going to
Trickle down.
trickle down. That's what we
Yep.
want.
Absolutely. So the second annual MetaQuest Gaming Showcase is April 20th, and it will have new updates and game announcements. It'll be featured on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Horizon venues. And someone in AltSpace will stream it for surely in an event. So keep an eye on the calendar, and we'll be here the following Saturday to report on any big announcements.
Hopefully there'll be something. They got to improve some of the. Anyway, that's personal. We need better apps. We need better apps. All right. Now, let's explore some news from in and around the metaverse, the news that you need to know that impacts so many of us.
Did any of you play Colossal Cave Adventure in the old days when the PC was still a new concept and featured a monitor with text in one color? Ken and Roberta Williams brought us the 1976 text adventure game Colossal Cave Adventure, following in the footsteps of the award winning and legendary Zork games, the first text based computer games.
Oh, I remember 'em so well. I was a major Zork fan. They made King's Quest, Phantasmagoria, and founded the storied game company Sierra. Anybody remember Sierra Games,
I
or am I
remember
just like the oldest
Sierra.
one around here? I just love it. I love those. They brought us games for decades that changed our lives and created the computer and video industry as we know today. Now, they've been retired for over 25 years, but they are back with a new game in VR.
I remember that company. I never played games.
Mhm.
The only game I ever played was the first text game that came from Apple Computer, and I remember taking my computer to visit my parents for Christmas, and my three brothers were there, and my brother George got frustrated with the game, and he typed in "fu," and it came back with "your place or mine," and that was like back in the 80s.
I love it. I love it. Well, my hubby and I still play the text-based adventure games
I
every holiday
remember
when they
you
have the big
telling me
Zizzy.
that.
Yep, they
That's
have the Zizzy
cool,
Awards. We
Laurel.
play the Zizzy Awards every holiday. All right.
That's awesome. Okay, so anyway, their new company is called Cygnus Entertainment, and they've launched a teaser of their new VR version of the Colossal Cave 3D, complete with more adventure and challenges to face. There isn't a release date set yet, but it's supposed to launch before the end of the year. We're excited to see how well this old story holds up in VR and what memories it will bring back. Ah, text games. Those were the good
Yeah,
times.
it was. It was. Use your imagination. I love it. Did you all follow the news coming out of South by Southwest a week ago? Well, it brought some amazing VR productions and projects to light.
We wanted to take a moment to highlight a few of these, as they often represent the future of our industry and the metaverse.
Now, a Swedish international transportation company brought their XR and AI LiDAR powered autonomous pods, they're called pods, to demonstrate the future of the transportation industry. The vehicles are controlled remotely, but the operator may switch over to driver mode if the vehicle needs assistance, feeling like they're immersed in the vehicle and actually driving. The reporter said they could even honk the horn and turn on the windshield wipers in real time with zero latency. Okay, that is amazing. And I also want to remind people that at the beginning of the pandemic, some AltSpace VR members actually created robots that would deliver food through VR right to people's doorstep from fast food restaurants and stuff. So they did it right through AltSpace too. So it was very cool.
Wow, that is very cool. These are changing times for teenagers today in a tech and social media ruled world. The new VR series, Weird Times, was showcased at South by Southwest, and they told the stories of teenagers exploring their lives through new media and tech. The episodes covered depression, body shaming, identity, and creative expression and release through animation and art forms. The reporter stated it was eye opening and highly recommends this immersive VR series for anyone with a teen in their life.
Brianna's Garden is an AR experience that has been celebrated at many film festivals. It's a tribute to Breonna Taylor that includes 3D tributes from her mother, her fiance, and her sister, speaking to us from a place of pain and remembrance of flowers and hearing the stories of loss and love. These are just a few of the highlights from South by Southwest experience, and we can't wait to see what they will come up with for next year. Are you working on something to add to that innovation? We had Allspace was represented at a couple talks there, but you might be there next year. Never know. Got some smart
Very
people here, don't we,
true.
Karen?
We sure do. We sure do, Laurel. Very smart people. So, moving on to some different kind of news. The country of Turkey has announced a major investment to invest in the metaverse and integrate it into their education system. The announcement led with the slogan, "The future belongs to those who design it," which we thought was appropriate, as it is the declaration of 2022 as the digital mobilization year for the country.
Now, President Erdogan and the Turkey Minister of Education made this announcement before 2,000 attendees of their Congress, with demonstration booths set up around the event space. They are developing technical training processes and as pilot programs for metaverse training and skill development, with the goal of 1 million apprentices by the end of 2022, end of this year. That's a huge push. We'll see. I probably going to be next year. We wish more countries would make similar investments in the metaverse and education, don't you?
Sure do. So Deloitte released a survey on the metaverse this past week that says younger generations are behaving in a way that suggests that they will live their lives online and embrace the metaverse. Well, welcome all younger generations. We older generations have already embraced the metaverse and we are here, right, Laurel? Yay!
Yeah, we here. God, I wish they'd interview some of the people with more experience. I'm tired of them finding the people who've been 1 minute in VR. Anyway,
Really?
The survey also brought some surprises, including the fact that there are more Brazilian gamers playing VR than many realized. There's a lot of them in here. I didn't know if you knew that. And they report higher levels of relaxation, self expression, and self connectiveness, including improved mental health through VR games and social VR platforms.
The report also stated that about half of all US gamers, 55% of UK gamers, and a slightly less percentage of others around the world say that VR has taken time away from other entertainment activities, a sign that VR is being embraced more than we thought. Check out the rest of the survey in our News and Updates Discord. There are links to our Discord on the screen throughout the show, as well as in the lobby. Don't forget the lobby, as I always do.
Yay! Another study came out this past week by Gartner that predicts that by 2025, 25% of everyone in the world will spend at least 1 hour a day in the metaverse. Well, they certainly didn't interview us, did they, Karen?
No, they sure didn't.
We would have thrown off the whole.
Oh my God, that's for sure.
Thing.
All of us in here, right?
So, think about it. How many hours a day do you estimate you average in VR? Good question.
Very good question. The report says that we will be working, studying, shopping, and socializing for that hour, which we're already doing, right? And that 30% of the world's organizations will have metaverse products and services by then.
Now, the research is likely good, but it carries with it the falsehood that keeps.
Oh, you lost connection there. This is important, Laurel. Maybe you want to start that over again.
Oh, okay.
Lost your audio for a second.
I want better internet, better internet, better internet. We can't have this freaking metaverse without better internet. Okay. So the research is likely good, but it carries with it the falsehood that the metaverse is going to be one single world rather than multiple worlds and platforms. I'm sorry, but our position is that greed will not allow a single world to dominate. It's just how it works. However, we love that it included evidence that a good portion of the world will be taking classes in virtual classrooms, building virtual homes, buying virtual lands. They can get it here for free, and thriving in the virtual economy. It's happening. It's happening right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, on to some world building. So Sketchfab celebrated its 10th anniversary this week. Wow. Are you a Sketchfab fan? Launched in 2012 as a way to share 3D models as 2D screenshots, as there weren't very many other options. The platform is developed into a full directory and resource for 3D modeling and models. Oh, okay, Laurel's taking a 1 minute, 2 second break here. So let me go on. The CEO shared a look back at the past 10 years of Sketchfab, including the good, bad, and joy of hosting anything on the web. Did you know that Sketchfab is now also supported by Epic Games ecosystem? We reported on that a couple of years ago. Congrats to them. Last week, we reported that Sketchfab's Blender add-on now supports both Blender 3.1 and 3.2 versions with direct import and export of models to and from Sketchfab and searching over 800,000 free Creative Commons models to add to your Blender projects, complete with model and license information. What a great bonus from Sketchfab, Blender, and the Altspace World Builders. Happy 10th birthday, Sketchfab.
Yay! The next Educators in VR MRE meetup with Dargon is Wednesday, April 13th. We love how many people are eager to learn about the powers of the mixed reality extensions to add features and functionality to their events and worlds. And Dargon helps make it look like it's easy. It's so easy. It's just wonderful. So make sure you mark the date, April 13th.
Dargon's a great teacher, and he's one of the few people who can take technology and really break it down into manageable chunks. So yeah, don't miss that. The World Building and Tour Group is touring some amazing worlds on Wednesday. The team is looking for more world builders to showcase. So if you're a world builder, especially if you're building educational worlds, let us know. Check in with Karen666, Lance, Stands with Trees, and others on the world building team with educators in VR. Okay, so now it's time for our Discord tip of the week. Discord is our back channel communications tool used by Altspace VR and events and groups all across the Altspace community.
Now, did you know that you can create a survey in Discord without a Discord bot? Many Discord owners and members want to ask a question or about that requires a yes or no answer, or encourages people to sign up or respond and show a preference or join a team. It's easy to do this using emojis.
Post a question and identify which emoji represents the answer, and then encourage people to click to confirm their response. For example, you can use the Y or N emojis for yes or no questions, and U for undecided.
Now, add the emojis after you post the question by right-clicking or clicking on the Add Reaction button and dig through the emojis to find the right ones. For example, in our lower one, we use flags representing some major countries that help to answer the question.
To see the users who've clicked on the emojis, right-click on the emojis. It will display their names and the reaction emoji they chose. It's a fun and simple way to get feedback from your Discord members.
And if you have a Discord tip, and I know there's some Discord whiz-bangs that are out there, please share it with us. Let us know on our news and updates Discord or after the show.
Okay, on to some Altspace events for this week. So as you know, events are important to the social aspect of our community, bringing people together with common interests. And we celebrate them here each week by highlighting only a few of the more than 250 events weekly. 250. We don't have time to share all the events, so here are a few highlights for the coming week.
First, we want to remind you that if you encounter an event that does not match the description or your expectations, or if you feel it violates the Altspace VR community guidelines or terms of service, when the event is active, only when the event is active, you may report it in World by going to the event and clicking on Info, then Report.
We want to make sure we protect our young and sensitive folks in our community and ensure that while freedom of expression and speech is honored in Altspace VR, there are consequences for stepping over the line. And don't forget, you can report it for being amazing as well. We often forget to do that, don't we, Lorella?
Yeah, we do. We do. We always talk about the negative and never the positive. Yep, I know it. Now, speaking of positive, right after the show is Improv VR with Stevie Boy and Shoseki. Max, a reporter from Max Reporter, will be there. We hope, we think. But let's make sure that we support him. So immediately after this event, let's flood that event with people and try to last through all the silliness. But let's make sure that we support Stevie and make sure they know that AltSpace VR is an amazing place. Now, tomorrow, Connecting Parents Living with Autism and ABA Therapy with Josh is up with the opportunity for parents of children with autism or teenagers or adults that have, to meet and support each other and discuss the potential for the applied behavioral analysis therapy to help. Each week, the group discusses different aspects of autism and this therapy, so check it out.
The event called Group meets on Tuesday and throughout the week as a peer led discussion and support group for those facing or dealing with mental health issues. This is a good group for connecting with others and discussing the tools to help develop communication and socialization skills and provide a safe space. Thursday is also the next cyberbullying discussion with educators and VR's cyberbullying team. This is such an important topic right now. Come join them and learn some tips and techniques for self protection and defense, and how to report and where to report bullying in the metaverse, as well as AltSpace VR.
Thursday is also the return of the Choosing a VR headset presentation by the virtual hardware team of educators in VR. And the leaders of the hardware teams are not just users, they're academic educators and department heads who pursued grants and budgets and huge fundraising projects.
They purchased hundreds of headsets, set up VR labs, and even fund digital and immersive technology departments and buildings with millions of dollars in computers and VR tech, some of it state of the art. They're sharing their insights as to choosing a VR headset for consumers, teachers, schools, and businesses. Check it out on Thursday.
Now, next Saturday, before the news and updates, this is going to be so cool. The Educators in VR theater team is having a special introduction to movement and voice in VR for acting and improv. And Stevie's going to be there. A bunch of people, awesome people are going to be there to help support this. Now, a special event space has been set up to allow for participants to act out their scenes and use their avatars to emote, Karen, we emote, and move through the various spaces and understand more about the challenges and the possibilities of performance and avatar control and movement. You do not want to miss this next Saturday.
Oh, that sounds really cool, Laurel.
That sound fun?
Wow, it sure does. Also next Saturday is the New York Stereoscopic Association for their 3D variety show. This week is Joe Padoto's Anaglyph Jukebox.
Anaglyph. Yep.
Exploring the history behind Anaglyph media, usually comic books. They will be showing these off in 3D for the event, and you don't want to miss it. To get the most out of the 3D images, it's recommended you attend in your VR headset, but the presentation also works in 2D.
Now, if you want to learn more about building with Unity, programming, and VR development, check out the intro workshop with computer science in VR. The course is taught in VR by TriUniverse, and many of our team have attended the workshops and the classes.
Okay, Laurel, here we go. So
I feel like this needs a major trumpet
and a major announcement.
Yeah.
Here's our announcement to you guys. This is our friendly reminder that daylight savings time ends tonight. Yay! This has been over 3 painful weeks this month, dealing with missed events and meetings. The crazy times end tonight, and we are thrilled. We believe that for those who will fall forward or spring forward or whatever in November, it will be back to 1 or 2 weeks of messing up times and schedules in VR.
Indeed. All right. Now, these are just the very few of the events this week here in AltSpace VR. There are literally so many of them, we cannot keep up with all of them. Please check on the main events, but don't forget to check the all. If you can't find anything on main events, there is stuff going on constantly. And check out the channels. Make sure you check out the channels on the altvr.com website to find the different ongoing event groups that tickle your fancy and amuse your spirit, and make sure that you subscribe to the channels so that you will be updated. News and Updates has one of those channels so you don't miss a show.
And if you don't see something that interests you, start your own event and let us know about it by posting it in the News and Updates Discord. The creativity and event types and styles is stunning, and we love sharing your events here.
We do our best. Sometimes it's goofy to bring you the highlights from this ever-growing community here at AltSpace VR, and we are so glad that you are here to share it with us. So that's all for this week's News and Updates. Thank you for joining us here every week and for celebrating 4 years of News and Updates. We do this every Saturday. We give up our Saturday for you. We are such martyrs to help you to have a better informed community.
When news you need to know happens, we share it in our News and Updates Discord so you get the news through the clutter of information. Please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channels so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace and the metaverse.
There was a recent thing. I wasn't going to say anything, but it just seems appropriate. There was a recent discussion on the AltSpace Discord. Somebody was whining that AltSpace is never in the news. It's like, yeah, it is. We report it every Saturday. Whenever we find it, we report it. So, and it is, it is. It isn't all the time. It should be more, but it is reported on. So if, we stream the news onto YouTube and Twitch every week. You can catch up with past episodes and more about all of our AltSpace VR events, projects, news, and community activities. This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteer team members. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And
yes.
this would not be possible without the volunteers that help pull all of this together.
We do this for you for free. We're not AltSpace VR employees. Our team works hard each week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on here in AltSpace.
And if you would like to join our team, craziness is required. Please let us know after the show. We're looking for reporters, photographers, scriptwriters, mods, backup hosts, you name it. So come join us. This is your show as much as ours, and we'd love you to be a part of it.
Thank you to all of our News and Updates volunteers and moderators who help make this event such a success. Thank you.
Oh, and Karen, please, reminder, everyone, as soon as this is over, in about 7 minutes, please head into Improv VR. Just want to remind y'all.
Okay. So thank you also to our Russian and Ukrainian friends and community members. We're here with you. Stand tough and stand up. And most of all, in these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Yay! Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Mark.